Hello everyone, today we're going to be playing some Arena. Saved up like 30,000 golds. I figured we'd do some drafts, then this time maybe I'll actually try a historic for once. Let's actually build a deck for it. Since, currently all the drafts are gonna be the Uncut Remastered, which is only playable in Historic. So, I've enabled a couple extensions and to allow chat to be able to vote on picks for the draft. When I'm not sure works necessarily. Like I'm just kind of trying to test it out. But if it doesn't work, I've got click maps. We got smart click maps enabled as a backup. Just gonna start a draft, and it should, if it's working, then it should be able to register the draft as happening. And then you'll be able to vote using the draft stack extension. If it doesn't work, I'll just start a click map. Which draft stack would definitely be preferable because I'm pretty sure there are click maps those require at least 50 clicks, so right. Okay. It does not seem to be functional. So I'm going to just enable the click map real quick. Right. Got we're good farmland, Vizier of the Anointed. Probably go with some variety of maybe anointed and embalm. Well, eternalize in the bomb, I mean. Six of draft stack doesn't want to work, so I kind of have no choice but to use click maps. Let's see. Probably not gonna go for Wasp of a Bitter End. Say maybe start, hurt, finish. So we're not getting anything with the Embalm or Eternalize, so Zero Remedies could be good. Kevnut's Monument, since we've got blue. Well, was it even? You could probably swing a switch to red. Winds of Rebuke. We could bring with Enigma Drake. They were gonna want to have plenty of instants and sorceries. Well, friendly getting something with Evolve. Just pick that up. Just in case we decide to just go back to Embalm. And Eternalize. Compelling argument could be alright. I mean, could arguably just mill ourselves in either way. It works with either possible synergy. Some Scorched Desert. I think I'll just go with Crash Through. And another Crash Through. And Diamond Pharaohs. Finally, Ancient Crab. Ooh, Jason Raffler Secrets. Well, we're definitely in blue, so just pick him up. Ooh, Approach with the Second Sun. Just gonna sort of pick that up. I know it's probably not viable and unlimited, but you know, why not? So it'll at least be my historic collection. Ooh. You can comment and return to a creature token you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It can't be blocked this turn. And it's blue-white and has Embalm. So definitely leaning towards the blue-white Embalm. Especially if you can get an Anointed Procession somewhere. It doesn't look like this guy's going for or anything with Anointed with Embalm. Anointed Priest, another Embalm creature, then will give us life when we get creature tokens. Gain Cataract. Thanks. I think I'll go for the Supply Caravan since it grants creature tokens. See. Whenever the cursed of the zombies you control get +1/+1, but at the same time it's black. Let's just go with it. It might be useful at some point. I'll pick up the Winds of Rebuke. Apparently I'm dropping frames. Definitely no catcher's name since it synergizes with zombies. Say Disposal Mummy. You know, get another zombie in there. Slither her blade could be good since it provides needs inevitability with its unblockability. The Sentinels, Secret Insight, another Slither blade. Right. Ooh, another Anointed Priest. Let's go with that. Cartouche of Solidarity. Had to wait for Alright. I don't usually run counter spells unlimited, but you know, just gotta pick one up. That might prove useful at some point. Throne of the God Pharaoh. Synergizes well with tokens, especially if you're being aggressive. Secret Cat, for another Embalm creature. Supply Caravan from our tokens. Floodwaters could be good. I'll go with that. But just one copy. Since it's 6 mana. Another Secret Cat. Oh, guess I'm getting another Floodwaters. Somebody was holding up the draft a little. At this point, we also just pick things at random because it's not going to be a whole lot That is actually useful for this deck. Just gonna remove the stuff that's not in our colors. Figure out. No, wait. Let's take out the is in our colors. I'm not sure if enchantments or artifacts are common enough to really justify the main decking for Save the Worldly. Definitely gonna take out at least one Floodwaters. Not sure if the Zero Remedies is all that useful. No, either. The Wall of Forgotten Arrows. But to take out Start Finish, although technically we can use Start without having black in the deck anywhere. I'd rather play it, if I'm gonna play it, I'd rather get the full value. Probably take out Compelling Argument. And Disposal Mummy too at this point. Only like one Supply Caravan. Probably take out some cats as well. We got 14 creatures. Say probably take out another couple non-creatures. Could probably take out one in a catcher's name and probably the other Floodwaters because it just seems a little expensive. Right. So we've got our deck. Let's see how it plays. So Arena's lagging a little bit. Alright, got Timid, Slitherblade, Winds of Rebuke, Aerial Guide, Hikma Sentinels. I think we've got the time to get Plains for Timid, so I'm gonna keep it. Island, Slitherblade. Right. Oh, and there we go, Plains. I'm gonna throw in the God Pharaoh. Because this way, you can swing with a Slitherblade, and then they lose an additional 1 life from me having a tapped creature at the end of my turn. Since I've got Essence Scatter now, I'm gonna hold back. I'm gonna Winds of Rebuke to bring Slither Blade back into my hand. Each player milled 2 cards. Or is it? But I got an island and a Sacred Cat milled, so I think I got the better result from that. Vile Manifestation. It's +1 and +0 for each card with cycling hanging in a graveyard. Embalm Sacred Cat. And Swing with Slither Blade. I've still got the 2 mana up for an Essence Scatter, or if I need it. So getting pretty far in mana. So you can see them casting something big, like a 4/4 with Vigilance and Reach. I'll hold back on casting anything this turn as well, so that I can then Winds of Rebuke if I need to. Reminisce's Monument. Oop. It buffs when you cast a creature spell. Just it could swing with, you know what, I think I will swing with Sacred Cat. Because it can just Winds of Rebuke. Their Vile Manifestation. Saving the Embalmed Sacred Cat. And giving me an additional point of life loss from the Throne of the God Pharaoh. Brought Vile Manifestation back. This time was a 3/4. Right. Ooh. I'm gonna play Temet. As the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature token you control gets +1/+1 until on turn, can't be blocked this turn. So as long as he survives, use it into my combat phase, I can get 2 unblockable creatures. Those instead of just 1. And there he goes. Knows immediately. Oh well. I still get to hit them for effectively E6. Aerial Guide. Swing with Slither Blade. and if they don't do anything big this turn, they're probably, yep, there they go. Right. So that's one win. So far this deck is looking decent. Right. Son of the Godfair, Dauntless Aven, Approach, and Vizier of the Anointed. Seems like a decent enough hand. A little light on the early plays, but I'll probably draw on more. Island. Another person playing Golgari. Throne of the God Pharaoh. They don't have any creatures to tap right now, so we'll be able to play Dauntless Aven next turn. If they want to hold back for Essence Scatter. We've got Nest of Scarabs. We put one or minus one counters on a creature. Or create that many 1/1 black insect creature tokens. This way, I might want to add that other Vizier back in. So this is the second, and the Golgari minus one counters deck I've run into so far. Well, there goes Dauntless Aven. It just had another mana for my counter spell. I could have done something about that. Wait. Going to put them directly into my graveyard. Or with the Vizier. Hope that they don't have a way of exiling him from there. Sidewinder Naga. Cares about deserts. Going to hold back on Embalming Tema until at least have something to counter none of the creatures. Well, until I have the mana to counter the creatures. I'm going to Essence Scatter that. Then Anointer Priest and Seeker of Insight. I don't have any tapped creatures, so Throne of Godfair continues to do nothing. Alright, I've almost got enough mana to going to Embalm Home Temet. So I get to draw a card off the Eternalize. And I get that 1 life. And then he just gives himself +1/+1 and unblockable. But since he entered the battlefield this turn, where he can't actually attack, I now have, I've got in the field and what I've got in my hand, I've got the mana to approach. You know what, why not? Now it's in my library, 7th from the top, so I can Seeker of Insight to try and draw it out. Temet's gonna give himself the +1/+1 again, and I'll swing with him since he's got unblockable. And now Throne of the Godfair gets to do something. And I've got Bitterbow Sharpshooters, the same creature that was there last time. Just gonna take those 2 out. Then I think I'm going to Winds of Rebuke the Baleful Ammit. Well, the Baleful, yeah, it's Ammit. So I get to draw. I drew into Jace. Scry 1, then draw a card. Scry directly into approach. I'm actually making approach work in limited. Like, unless it can force me to discard a card or somewhere or something, I'm actually going to make approach work in limited. just by sheer luck. And they just give up because they know I've got the approach. It's the one thing in my hand and they have nothing they can do about it. Right. I think I'll change one thing. That's going to bring back Vizier of Remedies. He's in place of, I think, Catcher's Name. I'm honestly not getting that many zombies. Like, the deck doesn't even seem to be going wide all that much. Probably because I couldn't get any Anointed Processions. So the Vizier will be good because it lets me counteract the green-blue, the Golgari strategies I keep running into. Secret Cat. Oh boy. Magmus Ray. Exile all the creature kills. Rolls after dealing 2 damage. Gonna play Ancient Crab. Oh, okay then. Sure, expend your counterspell on a crab. Right. Gonna want to have one blue mana open, because that way I can cast Winds of Rebuke. Okay, believe. Oh wait, it's blue creature spells, never mind. Right. Dauntless Aven. Tap down. Round Fervent Paincaster. You know what? Winds of Rebuke. Get the aerial guide back to their hand. Ooh. Cryptic Serpent. Spell costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcerer card in your graveyard. It's Anoint your Priest. Tap that down. Well, I thought I tapped it down. Guess I misclicked somewhere. If this isn't going great. Oh hey, Jace is here. He can help me out. At least. Let me just scry one, then draw a card. I'll keep Seeker of Insight, because I can then cast Seeker of Insight and actually tap down Cryptic Serpent this time. Right, there we go. Cryptic Serpent has been tapped down. As was supposed to happen. They have a lot of creatures. And they're exerting on Crasher, so I can't even then kill it. Because I can't block with enough. Zero the Anointed. Keep the Serpent tapped down. Sure, I'll send him that to my graveyard. Think I'll pass on the Essence Scatter. Kinda wish I didn't now. No, since all I got for that was an island, was a plains. Well, there goes Jace, and I'm very close to dead. Yeah, I can at least swing with the Vizier. deal 2 damage, get a supply caravan. It gets me a creature, or token, which then gives me 1 life. I'm dead at this point. They have no reason to hold off under the assumption that I have a trick, because the only thing, because I had no cards in hand. So that's lost 1 out of up to 3 for this deck. But I mean, still it's its first loss. Alright, so we've got Vizier of Remedies, Winds of Rebuke, Ancient Crab, and Hikma Sentinels. And 3 lands. It seems decent enough. Plains. And another red deck. Whether it's red-blue or not, who knows. But at the very least, it's another deck playing red and playing the exact same name kill spell on the first turn, or this last one. Just gonna play Ancient Crab. Well, they didn't counter it, so I guess that's where the similarities end. Just gonna swing with the crab for 1 damage. It's good. Expend your Supreme Will. Well, I'm looking at the top 4 cards of your library rather than encountering any of my things. Right. Probably won't cast any creatures until I get at least 5 mana. Because that way I can hold 2 up for my 2 instants. We've got another red mana. Just gonna counter that. Play another Sacred Cat. It's good. Cycle out your counter spells. You know, spend your counter spells on uses other than countering my spells. Anoint a Priest. Right. Just gonna block with the 3 1 mana, 3 one power creatures. If they try any tricks, I can just those winds of rebuke. Nope. I'm not letting you kill my creatures if none of yours is gonna live. Right. Play my own Heckma Sentinels. And it gets Essence scattered. So guess I'm relying on the one power crowd. Dauntless Aven. Can take them out in a few turns if it lives, which of course it doesn't. Play another Anointer Priest. Just gonna hold that back so that I can have a card in hand. They're cycling at the end of their turn. Well, at the end of my turn, rather than using that as a trick. Interesting. I don't really have a means of having a creature actually survive attacking right now, so I'm gonna try and take that down. Into the Anointer Priest will just try and beat damage buffers. And of course they have Winds of Rebuke. They'll get at the ready. They need to mess me up. But I mean, they got Temet in my graveyard. Just gonna start embalming. It's gonna help me survive. Can you not? Just gonna embalm another Sacred Cat. Okay then. Guess I'm not embalming to it yet. Since both of the graveyards just got shuffled into their respective libraries. But hey, I drew quite a few cards. Clearly they didn't want me embalming to just yet. I'm going into anyway. Maybe for the Vizier, but or I'm going to get him back to my graveyard. Just gonna swing one. That's alright, I've got another one. He just can't attack yet because he's got summoning sickness. Just casting a bunch of stuff. Time to embalm to match. So I get to draw a card off of Vizier. I'm going to Winds of Rebuke the Ominous Sphinx because I have a chance to potentially counter it. Let's gonna swing with my now 2 unblockable creatures and gain 2 life in the process. To block. There. And there. Oh, and we're able to get prowess off a couple times even. Well, at least it didn't give them trample. Hey, I can just approach the second sun again. Granted, it's the first time for this game, so sure, I'll pay A3 to get that approach to go off. Granted, that does mean that you can't counter any of their creatures until my next turn. I don't think I've got the draw. No, I don't think I've got the card draw this time around to really survive long enough. Not to this point. Yeah, that's at least. That's quite a bit of damage. That's right there. So I'm just gonna do my best to block some of it out. Still alive. I've got a Jace. So you can draw at least one card. Granted, Jace is gonna die super fast unless they decide to just go for my face. Which, that's exactly what they did. And that's because they've got enough to just kill me outright. Like, regardless of my one blocker. Should've just played another creature. Maybe I could have survived that then. Right. This match will decide whether we continue with this deck or not. Not most likely. Well, I mean, if we win, we'll get to continue on for at least a little while longer. So I had some crunchy frames names earlier. Everything seems to be alright now. Mulligan that actually. Right. Island. Plains. I'm going to hold off on casting anything until I get 4 mana. Or until I expend Essence Scatter. Or whichever one happens first. Nope. Okay, if I can just play Temet, and they've got their own Essence Scatter, so I'm just gonna play the Throne instead. I was gonna play the Cartouche, but Temet got himself countered, so unless they've got, yeah, they're not gonna have another Nimble Obstructionist. It's a rare. So I can cast Temet fairly safely. I can embalm him. And there goes the Throne of the God Pharaoh. I'm going to pass on blocking just in case they have a trick that can kill Temet. He's already been embalmed. He's not coming back. Right. Play Seeker of Insight. I'm going to hold back on casting anything else for the turn. so that I can get at least one usage of the secret of insight. I'm gonna block there. I'm going to see if they have any combat tricks. Doesn't look like they do. So I'm gonna Winds of Rebuke. Right. Kefnut's Monument. Which doesn't matter that they're tapped because it doesn't rely maybe on me casting it doesn't rely on any tap abilities anyway. Oh, that's why it doesn't tap them down. It just makes it. That's why that didn't work earlier. It doesn't tap them down. It just makes them unable to untap if they're already tapped. Which means creatures of vigilance are going to be a problem. Gonna play Jace. Get Sacred Cat. Seeker of Insight. Granted, as long as they've got of that bird, they have a guaranteed way of keeping Jace from them getting his ultimate off. But hey, at least he can provide card draw. You know, scry and card draw, so I can use him to seek out. And every time I cast a creature spell, I can keep the river from them attacking. And they Essence Scattered. Well, still got the casting off. And I can just embalm it and get the creature anyway. They still managed to hit Jace for one. And just chump block the sharpshooters. Oh dear. That's a big worm. Gonna try and find something to do about it. Not finding much so far. Which at least as long as it can block it, I can then start nurturing into spam creatures in order to keep it tapped down. You can pretty much just block it once, and as long as it can keep a good flow of creatures coming in, then that pretty much solves that problem. Alright, got approach. Sacred Cat. Tap down on the sandworm. Approach of the second sun. So now I've just got to keep Jace alive for like 2 more turns. Well, if they don't damage Jace, so yeah, he'd have to stay not only alive but undamaged for 2 whole turns. Especially given that they have a creature with flying, that's not really much of a possibility. Just gonna block as much as possible. Try and take things down where I can. Still taking at least 1 damage. But at least I weeded out some of their creatures. Right. Scry 1, draw a card. Dauntless Aven. Tap down on Greater Sandworm. I'll keep Greater Sandworm tapped down. 0 remedies. Keep Ripper or Hoopoe. No tap down. Then that's it for that turn. I can chump block the Riverwinder, and I can bounce something back with the Winds of Rebuke. It can bounce anything other than the Riverwinder back. Right. Gonna block there with Sacred Cat. No block, double block there, and triple block hug there. And if there's trouble, now you can bounce something back. If that 1 card in their hand turns out to be something that's gonna mess me up. Right. Things seems to be going as well as it can at this point. Right. Scrying Draw, Ancient Crab, tap down River or Hoopo. Well, keep River Hoopo, tap down. Bounce Greater Sandworm back to its owner's hand. Oh, and I just messed myself up real bad right there. That was a big mistake on my part. Because I don't have any way of getting that Approach of the Second Sun back to my hand. And from my graveyard. So unless they just happen to do a fun trick where they shuffle everybody's graveyards back into the library, I just lost a good win condition. But hey, I've almost got Jace's ultimate, so that's something. And I've got Sacred Cow in my graveyard, or now. Because it forced me to mill a multitude of cards. Just gonna chump block that with a Sacred Cat. Zero the Anointed. Tap down the River Hoopo, I guess. Don't believe I have anything left in my library. Need use for that. Oh, Jace is gonna take a big hit, I'm pretty sure. It's either Jace or me. At least he's got a chance to survive it. So that's something. Because I have nothing with the Power Greater than 2. Near to block the sandworm with. Gonna block the Riverwinder so they can hopefully at least keep Jace alive. Okay, I lost that pretty much because I screwed myself by milling by milling myself for 2 when I had a win condition right there on the top 2 cards of my library. Right, see what's in these packs. Actually, let's just save the packs until after we're done drafting for the night. So we've still got enough gold for 2 more. I'll get this quick maps going again as soon as it's done loading. Thanks. Might just be able to refresh it, get it working properly again. Nope, the menu is just sitting there, not doing anything. Right, cannon slow. I mean, Slither Blade worked pretty well. No, last time around. Let's just go with that. Failure, hard to comply. It could be pretty good. Yeah, Quick Maps has decided to not have the menu work spontaneously. Which means that, unfortunately, I can't actually start the Quick Map. Right, just gotta wait for... Right. Cryptic Serpent. Seems definitely pretty good if we end up getting a decent number of instants and sorceries. Since I mean, if you can get up to 5, then you can just cast it the 6/5 for 2. Commit to memory. Target let's small and all permanent under its owner's library. Its owner's library second from the top. Sure, I'll pick that up. Even Wind Guide, creature tokens you control have flying and vigilance. Sounds like we might be going creature tokens again. Getting some better stuff for Embalm this time around. You'll get another approach of the second sun, and I'll be able to make it actually work multiple times. This time. I mean, I'm pleasantly surprised with how close I was able to get to actually pulling off multiple approach victories. Use it in draft. Right. Another flying creature with Embalm. Kind of makes even Wind Guide look a little less powerful. Well, we've got a multitude of all of our Embalm creatures have flying anyway. Because then it just gives them all vigilance and that's it. We'll wait and see what we get for Embalm. And Eternalize. You have to actually see any Eternalize. Sure, I'll grab Compelling Argument. Oh, here we go. Click maps, those are working again. Definitely big guy with hexproof. Sacred Cat. Hieroglyphic Illumination. And Binding Mummy. Seer of Last Tomorrow. Right. Binding Mummy cares about zombies. Ooh, but Catcher's Monument. Big claim. A little too expensive for limited, I think. A little too expensive for not enough. Because like I feel like the fact that you can win with it kind of justifies these approaches cost. Well, unless you target something really good, Late Claim isn't gonna do anything for you. Compulsory Rest. Zero Tumbling Sands. I think I'll go with the Cartouche. Measure of Knowledge. Labyrinth Guardian. Oh, his Embalm. Sure, since it's got Embalm, I'll go with it. Plus, since it's sacrificing it, then it becomes a target of a spell, that means that anything that does something other than just killing it, they're going to lose value on. They won't get anything for it. Well, that includes my spells as well, so just have to be careful not to target it and myself. Not unless I went to sacrifice it. Another Binding Mummy. Even Initiate. Top Crop Elite. Practically just building new blue-white flyers at this point. I have to wait for the person holding up the draft to actually pick their cards so that we can continue with the draft. Right. We'll go to the supply caravan. Aerial guide. So I'll go with another ancient crab. As you can see, that's another creature in our colors. In a pack with not a lot of interesting options. Another Slither Blade. Shore Scaled Drake. And Strategic Planning. I mean, Throne of the Godfair played pretty well last time. So it's going to do especially well if we can attack a bit more aggressively. So it's Scourge Champion, it's got Eternalize. It's about if there's a desert. Could be good even though we don't have a desert currently. Like, I mean, it still makes a creature, or makes it so the creature doesn't untap. Gonna go with Spellweaver Eternal. Get another zombie. I mean, even if you target something that's untapped with Unquenchable Thirst, unless it's got Vigilance, it still discourages attacks. Right? Next with it. Zero the Anointed. Definitely a good pick. Since we're going. Getting it, Eternalize it. Is an Embalm again. Spellweaver Eternal. Essence Scatter. Because, you know, proved useful on occasion. Sure, I'll grab Watchers of the Dead. Winds of Rebuke. Oh, this guy's just been letting the packs pile up. Which is probably why this is a little bit of a hold up, like right here. So I'll grab a riddle form. Another strategic planning. Also because it's the only blue card in the only blue or white card in the entire pack. At this point, just picking up off-color stuff. No, because there's just nothing in our colors. There's left other than a handful of cards in each remaining pack. That looks like just about done. Just as soon as this guy makes her decisions. Yep. Alright, definitely no Blur of Blades. Might end up taking out Cryptic Serpent if we cut enough of our instants and sorceries. When like Forsake the Worldly or good Watchers of the Dead. Sure, I'll keep failure her to comply in. Probably take out strategic planning. And Seer of Last Tomorrow. Honestly, the stuff that just draws cards doesn't seem super useful in this deck. Yeah, since we don't have anything that relies on drawing into anything anymore. It honestly seems like we might be playing a little bit low to the ground, just like aggro, no tokens. I'm gonna commit it to memory. probably the Riverwinder as well. Again, looks like it can be fairly low to the ground. Like, I mean, we've got 15 cards of 2 CMC. Probably cut some of those. Especially now that getting a little low on non-creature spells for triggering Riddle form. You can probably keep just like a Ketra's Attendant. That'll be enough 5-mana stuff. I hate to say it, I think I'm gonna cut the crab. Probably cut one of the Unquenchable Thirsts. Maybe Vizier of the Anointed as well at this point. Sure, I'll go one above. That was the minimum. I think I might actually need BRB first. So stretch my legs, maybe get something to drink. I'm back. Did exactly what I said I was going to do, and I stretched my legs a bit and had something to drink. I've got a bit more energy because I am a bit tired today because I tried to wake up a bit earlier because I've got classes starting like next week, and currently I at least have classes that I have scheduled Zoom meetings for at like 9 a.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I don't know about Monday and Wednesday yet, but if I continue streaming during the week, after the semester starts, it'll still be on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because that way I'm not staying up all that late and then having to get up by 9 a.m. the next morning. Right. Binding Mummy, Throne of the God Pharaoh, Lens of Rebuke, and even Initiate. Seems like a decent hand. Plains, playing some variety of red, black. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Firebrand and Archer deals 1 damage to each opponent. So we're going to be casting a lot of non-creature spells, it sounds like. Just gonna Binding Mummy. Probably go save that so that I can, for one thing, have it be less expensive via Catcher's Monument, but also get to a 1/1 warrior creature token. Oh well. And just to do that with my next creature, which will probably be Sacred Cat. There goes a Binding Mummy. And they cast their first of undoubtedly many non-creature spells. And also this match. The God Pharaoh, Sacred Cat. So I effectively get 2 creatures. But unfortunately I can't use the warriors to trigger their Throne of the God Pharaoh, because at least I can't attack the warriors for Throne of the God Pharaoh. Looks like they've got something that they wanted to keep some black back for. Right. Even Initiate. Just gonna swing with both of these. So I do take 1 from the Sacred Cat being tapped. And now they've got a big old creature. You know what? I'm gonna bounce that back to their hand. And they have to mill 2 as well. Oh, and I got that Failure to Comply into my graveyard, so I can just cast Comply choosing Desert Celadon, and now they can't cast Desert Celadon until their next turn after my next turn. So that gives me a whole turn to hopefully get like maybe a counter spell. All Crop Elite will do. Oh, they opted to cycle it. So that gets it out of my hair permanently unless they've got something to bring it back. Just gonna swing with the Even Initiate. Oh wow, this person's gold rank in Unlimited, and yeah, I'm just obliterating them. I mean, this is practically blue-white flyers, so those are pretty much always trouble for any deck that's not flyers. There we go, that's our first win with this deck. Right. Catcher's Attendant, Cartouche of Knowledge, Failure to Comply, and Even Initiate. I think I'll mulligan that to get something. I was hoping I could get something a bit not as expensive, but it didn't work out that way. Right. That'll end. Well, there goes at least one Celadon. Well, I mean, it's common, so there's a decent chance you'll have more. Just gonna keep the mana up for an Essence Scatter, or until I may find a use for it. Throne of the God Pharaoh. Well, since I can at least play things with 2 mana. Not a big fan of that. So I think that can go back to your hand. Granted, they didn't do a whole lot. Honestly, that probably helped them. No more than anything. Yeah, honestly, at this point, just gonna concede that match. It's like I ended up helping them more than I hurt them. Since I just gave them a way to get more zombies out of that one enchantment. Right. Plains, Binding Mummy, Throne of the God Pharaoh, a Ketros Monument. Seems like a decent hand. And start with. Only wish it had some islands so I could let at least have something you can cast a cartouche with. Binding Mummy. Ketros Monument. But that does nothing, but okay. Swing 2. Attacker up Elite. Which also gets me another. It also gets me Warrior with Vigilance. Throne of the God Pharaoh. You know what? I'm going to just play pass rather than trying to attack. Essence Scatter that Cheeto. I think I'm going to Cartouche of Knowledge, the Binding Mummy, so that now it gets flying. You know what, I'm just gonna see. Ooh, I'm definitely going to exert in that case. I can deal more damage. Oh, alright. They've got. I did not think that through. Oh, well, I can just. Winds of Rebuke. Yeah, out of the way for at least one turn. Just gonna take the 5 damage. Gonna Embalm, even Wind Guide. Right. I just need one more zombie, and I can pretty much win this. This just about. Gonna block there to make sure I don't die. Spellweaver Eternal. It's a zombie. And boom. The blue-white flyers prevail once again. So this goes on for too long, I might end up not doing a third round half the night. So I'm gonna try and wrap this up in the next hour. Means probably either probably just to do the third draft and then crack the packs. Eggs and I'll either or do my deck building and for historic next stream or off stream. Island, Spellweaver Eternal. Which means I can Throne of the God Pharaoh. No, next turn. And get a prowess trigger off. Now, at the very least, even if they counter the throne, prowess still triggered. And swing 3. And they lose 1 from the throne. And on top of that, I can play like a something like a Sunscorched Champion. Then next turn, I might think I'll at least swing with the Spellweaver or Eternal first, because that way I can just impeccable timing. Right, hieroglyphic illumination. Talkrop Elite, and swing 2. They lose another 1. So they're also trying to do new blue-white flyers. Okay, creatures you control. So they cycled Censor. Probably because it's a soft counter. Yeah. Oh, I didn't give me an option to exert. Probably because I select all attack. Oh well. Took down the creature anyway. Just gonna swing in with those 2. If they don't block, they're dead. You know, I'll just embalm it rather than playing the Sunscorched Champion just yet. Once they play a land this turn, they don't have the mana to embalm their own even. So ultimately it comes down to what's in their hand. And we've got Winds of Rebuke. And Vizier of Deferment. Right? Sunscourge Champion. Gain life equal to its power. Which I'm still ahead, so. They're running low on options. Those ways of dealing with my attacks. Especially now that I think I'll just swing and then worry about Unquenchable Thirst. In fact, I'll use it to pay that guy's his internalized cost. Right. So now they're back once again to what's in their hand. Can they stop me from murdering them next turn? Right, got 3 mana left. So the question is, do they have a trick? Nope, I'd say not. That's 3 wins for this deck. So it's 2 packs and 1,000 gems. Because, you know, the longer this deck lasts, the less likely I'm going to get to that 3rd draft tonight. Especially if we've got wait times like this, unless we're finding a new opponent. Right. Seems like a decent starting hand. Island. Playing red. And some variety. Spellweaver Eternal. Red green. And apparently. Cartouche of Knowledge. And swing with the 4-3 in the air. Another king to draw cards and effort for this nimble no blade Kinra deals damage. I don't need to worry about that. I hardly have any activated abilities. These on the battlefield. Most of my activated abilities are in the graveyard. Can't play another Spell Weaver. Just continue pounding them in the air. Okay then. And even initiate. Oh, and here comes Glorybringer. Remember back when this was in standard. Throw the God Pharaoh and Aerial Guide. And just get another Unquenchable Thirst. Then that would be real good. I mean, if I can just get a couple more attacks like that in. Maybe if they exert or Glorybringer, they're just gonna kill Aerial Guide. Yep. Yeah, I think I'll just let them cast it the one time. Yeah, that's it for that game. Like, I kinda had a bad feeling as soon as I saw Glorybringer hit the field. Things were not going to be going my way much longer. Hey, still got at least one more round with this deck. Right. Throne, Slitherblade, Need Rebuke, Failure, No to Comply. Seems decent enough. This way, draw more lands. Slitherblade. We could. He didn't immediately kill it. Son of the God Pharaoh. No, and so we begin with backing them with an unblockable creature and then taking advantage of being tapped. Gonna wait to cast those more blue spells until I at least get another island. That way I have enough mana open for Failure and Winds of Rebuke. Go on, do whatever you're going to do. You know what? No. Turn that to your hand. Then comply. You battlefield, Thresher Lizard. And now they can't cast it until after my next turn. Impeccable timing. Just gotta hope they don't have a prowess trigger. They did not. At the very least, if they did, they didn't use it. And it just wins rebuke that. Okay, if I can just survive for 6 more turns and keep Slitherblade alive, then I can pretty much win this with just Slitherblade. Need to end the throne. Here comes the Thresher Lizard. Because now they can actually cast it. Even initiate. Keep pinging them with Slitherblade so I can keep having a tapped creature at the end of my turn to continue slowly killing them. Of course, they were able to exile all that creature, so don't even get to bomb the initiate. Probably gonna end up playing the second Slitherblade in next turn. Or Catcher's Attendant, and that also works. Again, if I can just keep this up for 4 more turns, turns will die. So, Carpet Tangler can become a 3/3 when attacking, meaning if it exerts. Honestly, I'd probably be better off just take down one of the Thresher Lizards. Well, I mean, they aren't going to be able to attack the Carpet Tangler or next turn anyway. Right. Island, Slitherblade, and Balm of Catcher as Attendant. Then ping them for 1 again. I mean, if I can survive this turn, particularly without losing Catcher's Attendant, and I say that right as it dies, so If I can survive this turn, I might be able to use the Throne of the God Pharaoh to win it all. No. Let's see. Currently taking. I have to block this turn, so. Spellweaver Eternal. Just keep pinging them. Unfortunately, I believe that's just about it for this match. Yeah, they hardly even needed to cast that because they can just swing with everything and that'll take me down. Right, so that's it for that deck. Another 2 packs and 1,000 gems, which means I'm gonna go for that third draft. Just see. Wait. Gonna get the quick map ready. There we go. Vizier of Many Faces. Spell is a copy of any creature on the battlefield except it. Vizier of Many Faces is involved. The token has no mana cost, its white and is a zombie. Seems pretty good. As much as, you know, this will be the third time we're playing thing at least blue and embalm, into a little bit of embalm. So I'm gonna lean towards not playing white just to mix things up. Maybe go an Oasis Ritualist. Of course, if we get an Anointed Procession, we'll probably just grab that. And end up playing white anyway. Failure to comply didn't do a whole lot. Maybe a Trespasser's Curse could be good. You know, get some life gain going. Let's see. Lethal Sting. I think could be decent. Maybe Halo's Vizier. Ooh, Nest of Scarabs. Can start -1/-1 things. Maybe I could go black and white instead. Of blue and white. Oh, blue and black, I mean. Lethal Sting. Thing again. Which in combination with Nest Scarabs will get me a Scarab. Each time. Just at the expense of one of my creatures getting a -1/-1 counter. I mean, I could just -1/-1 a Scarab if I have to. Right. I think I might just go for black and white. I mean, Zero seems to be about the best blue thing I'm seeing so far. I think that doesn't want to let me change the deck box art, but I guess maybe that's just an odd thing during the draft. Just gotta hope I can get maybe another Anointer Priest, since I passed on one because I was gonna go with blue-black. Oh, now I'm seeing some decent blue stuff. You can always just try and go Esper. Sunscourge Champion was pretty good. You know, Sacred Cat's kind of one of the most basic components of an Embalm deck. Like, if that's what we end up going with. If they're having a bunch of stuff that cares about zombies or creature tokens, then definitely. Still got time to potentially get an Anointed Procession, Trail of Solidarity. For creatures you control get +2/+1 Vigilance until on turn. Ooh, that seems pretty good, especially if we can get a cartouche to go along with it. The Solidarity, or I think it's Ambition, is the black one. Gonna take some time to sort out my pool. Oh, I wait somebody to move the next pack over to me. Oh, and here's a cartouche of Ambition. So now I've got one to go with the trial. And once again, gotta wait for Somebody pass me a pack. Dispossess. There's an artifact card name. That is very much a constructed card. Instead, I think I'm gonna go for my leap. This person's probably the one that's causing all the hold up. Oops. There are 4 packs sitting in front of them. Right. Supernatural stamina. They can just have things returned back to the battlefield and have them get +2 out. No, until they do die. Shadowstorm Vizier. I haven't really gotten enough that cares about like that does anything with cycling, so probably not that. Just gonna keep on going with the black-white 8 tokens. That's also probably what I'll end up building in Historic, is some variety of black-white sacrifice tokens. Because I'll have access to some cards I used to play in Standard back when they were in Standard. Or the Broken Lands. Now I'm starting to hit stuff with cycling. Dream Palace Vizier cares about cycling. Nisa, Steward of the Elements. Too bad I'm not in those colors at all. Guess I'm just gonna get another Nest of Scarabs. Those instead. Zero Deferment. And it's used against me to great effect, at least. No catcher's name. Alright, another Anointed Priest. So there is Unconventional Tactics. And Wayward Servant. I think I'll go with the Wayward Servant and hope the Anointed Priest wheels its way back to me. Plus I think I've got more zombies and stuff that other than Bomb or Internalize, so I've only got Cat, the 2 Sacred Cats, and a Sunscorched Champion, whereas I've got 5 zombies. These in total. I think I'll go with the Catcher's Attendant, just to get something with flying. Well, the Scarabs were zombies, and that would be amazing. Unfortunately, there's not really any way to make them zombies. These are just insects. Don't think I'm gonna get an annoying procession this time around either. I'm gonna go with Splendid Agony on that one. Merciless Javelineer. It could be good, but I'm not really in the colors for it, so I'm gonna go through the as make money instead. Protection of the Heckma. Source and the opponent controls to deal damage to you, prevent one of that damage. Honestly, pretty decent. Would be especially decent against me, even with all of my insects. We're just gonna wait for. Alright. And. Of course. And here's an Under Priest. Actually managed to wheel its way back to me. Doomed Center. Guess I'm gonna get claim to fame. Now. Start sorting out all the cards. We're gonna take out claim to fame. Yeah, mostly focus on zombies and things with Eternalize or either Eternalize or Embalm. It's really not the supply caravan. I need 8 more things to remove before this deck is ready to be played. Probably just gonna cut Protection of the Heckma and Horror of the Broken Lands. So that leaves 4 more. Probably see. Probably take out a Sacred Cat. You only have 13 creatures, so next year will probably have to be non-creature spells. I'll play with one more than the minimum. Just hope that doesn't throw me off too badly. Probably just gonna end the stream after I'm done with this draft. I'll crank the packs first. Right. Nest of Scarab, Splendid Agony, And disposal mummy seems decent enough. Swamp. Plains. Already I'm taking damage. I probably could have actually taken out the Crypt of the Eternals. It doesn't really do a whole lot in this deck because it can just be used as a source of black mana and gains me life, and that's about it. Going to Splendid Agony. Each of those mummies, and as a result, I get 2 new insects. and now each of those insects are being tapped down. Don't have the right mana for a Tetris Attendant, so I guess I'm gonna play Miasmic Mummy. And Disposal Mummy. So far, it looks like they're being mana screwed. But hey, that's just something I can use to my advantage. Just gonna swing with the 2 mummies. Another disposal mummy. Just keep them from having creatures in their graveyard. Lethal Sting. And I'll hold on to it until we get something that's not a 1/1 unbinding mummy. I've actually managed to utilize one of the binding mummies. Right, another nest of scarabs. Can't wish I'd gotten a bit more for putting +1 or putting hitting -1/-1 counters on things. So I could get a few more scarabs. Doom Dissenter. Then lethal sting. Target that creature. Put the -1/-1 counter on Doomed Dissenter. So I get 2 scarabs and a zombie. Yeah, that. Swing with those 4. They're pretty much dead at this point. Oh, but they gained 4 life. They're probably still not going to be able to do much past that. You know what? Trespasser's Curse. I mean, they're not going to be casting any creatures, I don't think. Yeah, they'd have to have something 2 mana with flash. Wait, on to the next match. I'm now in silver tier. I think we're gonna mulligan that. This looks a lot better. I'll put the disposal mummy back in my library. Desert of the Glorified. Plains. Swamp. Wasteland Scorpion. Yeah, sure, gain 2 life and draw a card. That's not gonna do a whole button. That's probably not gonna do a whole lot for you. Oh, now I've been hit with a Trespasser's Curse. There's a Wayward Servant. Just gonna Tush of Ambition. Put the -1/-1 counter on it. Sunscorched Champion. And swing with those 2. Gonna lethal sting. Put the -1/-1 counter on Wayward Servant. And swing 4. I probably could have saved that. Well, I mean, they aren't. Mirage Mirror becomes a copy of target artifact creature or enchantment or land until end of turn. Can't block with Marauding Bone Slasher. Or as long as I don't control another zombie. So can attack safely until then. Ooh, Crested Sunmare. Makes other horses you control indestructible, and it's gonna exile Sunscorched Champion. Swing with the Wasteland Scorpion. Ooh, that's not great. Hey, I mean, I've got 28 life, so I can take a beating and can still pull through. Yeah, sure, make me discard my 1 planes. I'll just take the 10 damage. I'll still be at 18 afterwards. I think I'll hold back on that and cast it on their turn since it's an instant. Just gonna swing 3/3 with. Yeah, sure. Oh no, that's actually real bad. That is, yeah, I'm done. I'm done at that point. I did not see that tactic coming. Okay, something to keep in mind for deck building. Well, I have my doubts about Crested Sunmare being all that common and historic. I mean, there's pretty significant life gain archetypes and using standard. Plus, I mean, I imagine they kind of tailor this a little bit to Historic's meta, since it's not every card in Amonkhet. It's a mix between in multiple sets. Sacred Cat. Doom Dissenter. Just gonna swing for one. Nest of Scarabs. And swing with both. Another Spellweaver. Yeah, swing with both of my creatures again. Alright, since I didn't end up casting Supernatural Stamina, they can have a nice use Trespasser's Curse. Sunscourge Champion. And then it gets countered, but I can just eternalize it whenever I want, just as soon as I have the mana. All I need is one more mana and something to discard. Right. I think I'm gonna swing with just the cat. Because I can, if I swing with the no Spellweaver Eternals, I can block with the Doom Dissenter, use Supernatural Stamina to make it to where it comes back after dying, and get a zombie and Doom Dissenter back. Although they might counter it if they've got a counter spell null for it. They just use Hieroglyphic Illumination, which does not save their creature. Well, it does trigger Prowess. I'm just gonna kill off the other one with impeccable timing. So get Doom Dissenter back and a zombie. Wasteland Scorpion. And swing 4. I'm gonna swing out again. And I'll catch his name. And that's his game. Right. Still 2 more losses. Still take 2 more losses before this draft will be finished. Somewhere between like 2 and 5 more matches, I think. Hopefully, it'll go pretty quick since we're past the 3-hour mark. I didn't want to leave this waiting for another stream or waiting. You don't want to just sit. No, this is like make resign either. Not when I've got more potential wins waiting for me. Some sort of strength. Gonna play a Wayward Servant. Well, the Exemplar is going to attack as a 2/2, so we'll just take the damage. Can run Eternal. Oh, that's a zombie, so I get to hit a Wayward Servant trigger. Just gonna Lethal Sting. Putting the -1/-1 counter on Kenra Eternal. Ooh, I do not like that. It has to be target creature you control. I'll just block there. Miasmic Money. Lethal Sting that. Okay, it's just draw. It's just card draw. Not with that aftermath effect. I'm gonna take the 3 damage so I can get second Miasmic Mummy. Or not, apparently. Guess I'll just have to lose a Wayward Servant, and then... Because I need to get rid of that hippo before it kills me. Well, that's that for that match. Right, like 1 to 5 now. I can see this just ending up being one more match, and then it crack packs, and then the stream. Mulligan, because I didn't have any new black mana in it. You kind of rely on that to be able to do most of my stuff. Gonna play Desert. Initiate its companion. Wayward Servant. This combat deals combat damage to a player and tap target creature or land. And they've got a Ketra's Monument. Sacred Cat. And Miasmic Mummy. I will discard the Ketra's Attendant, since I can bring that back as an embalmed creature. Right. Cartouche of Ambition. Give that to the Miasmic Mummy. Give the cat. Give the Initiate's Companion -1/-1. Then swing 3. Use lifelink. Mess of Scarabs. Swing 3 again. Crypt of the Eternals. Swing the 3/3 again. And here comes the Greater Sandworm. Lovely. Ooh. Exile it for a turn. And if it comes and attacks me. Sandworm Convergence. This is how they're going to get more worms. Just gonna zero to ferment. Exile that. Well, I'm quickly running out of options. I mean, admittedly, I could just let it hit me a few times. Because, I mean, I've got the life. Like, I can definitely survive a few hits. You can also kill the greater sandworm. And on top of that, get the sacred cat. Well, now, pretty much always going to have something to block me in the ass, not me that's gonna be able to kill it. Because unless I can do something about either the enchantment or their newest sandworm, they're just always gonna have a 5/5 ready to block. That's at least one 5/5. Although, I can just Trespassers Curse them, and now they're going to slowly die from their own sandworms. Because now, every time they get, for instance, another sandworm, they lose one and I gain one. And every time they cast a creature spell, they effectively lose 2 and I gain 2. Well, that's not great. So now they have a very, very powerful sandworm. Although it's still only 12 damage, and that actually wouldn't be too terrible for me. Because, like, I can take 12 damage. Because I've got 28 life. It's mostly the other smaller creatures are gonna bring a lot of the pain. Just gonna kill that. And block their other creatures. Did not mean to double block that. Which means I'm gonna take another 5 damage that I did not intend to take. I mean, you know, still gonna slowly wither and die due to their own sandworms. See, just the more they make, the more creatures they get, the more damage they take, the more life they lose from Trespasser's Curse. It's like, unless they get some way to deal with that, this is pretty much, so you get some way to deal with either me or the Trespasser's Curse. Those I pretty much win at this point. Of course, they can just get enough sandworms before they die, then that will actually save them, because they can just wallop me for a bunch of damage. Though each sandworm also gives me one life, even when it enters a battlefield. So just sort of on a ticking clock. See if they can get enough sandworms to take me down before, or the sandworms take them down. If they just had a means of getting them all trampled, then that would change things quite a bit for them. Because as it says right now, I can just block quite a few of them with the insects and not be harmed at all. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Granted, only one sandworm was gonna die, but I was dealt no damage whatsoever. And there we go. Right, so now it's more 1 to 4 remaining matches. It's until either we lose one more match or win, and then the rest of the matches get all of the possible prizes. almost a minute wait time to get this next match ready. Yep, a whole minute. It passed before it could find me a new opponent. Is that like platinum tier, I think? Well, this should be interesting. That's probably why it took so long. Because I wanted to find somebody more at my level while unlimited. Oh, and already I'm not liking this matchup. Wayward Servant. Sunscourge Champion. Like I want to take that out as soon as I can. Most of the things I have that put -1/-1 counters on things, just put one. Well, they're almost out of cards in hand. That's gives me some hope for being able to do decently well in this matchup. Soul Stinger. When Soul Stinger, this spell will put two -1/-1 counters on target creature you control. So they use that to crack Doom Dissenter. Trespasser's Curse. Going to look there. Then enter Ketral's name. Anointer Priest. Just gonna take the 4. Hey, they got me 2 life. So that's pretty much how this is gonna have to go. It's just does it keep the life gain up as much as it can, while slowly hurting them as much wherever I can, and as well. I think I'll hold on to that until we get something a bit more threatening. Because I mean, I guess it could take out the supply caravan. Catcher's attendant is being embalmed. And I've got flyer, so as long as it lives, I'm just gonna block there with the Anointed Priest, because then I can then embalm an Anointed Priest and gain another 1 life and hit them for 1. And for having a zombie enter the battlefield under my control. I'm gonna block it there and there. Just take the 3. You know what? I think now is the time to do something on the supply caravan at this point. You know what? Trial of Solidarity as well. Do all my creatures. Where is it? Plus this one, plus 2 in Vigilance. Let's just swing with the flyer, and it gets exiled. Because of course. Gonna kill that. The expense of putting another -1/-1 counter on it. The embalmed Anointed Priest. And there goes that guy. Yeah, this is going just about as I expected. Just say pretty poorly. I can just boom, there goes that. Cartouche of Ambition. That. Yep, -1/-1. Then Trail of Solidarity. Swing 5. Well, I didn't get through to them, but I did gain 5 life in the attempt. And now it's back to being terrible. At least every time they play a creature, or they're gaining me life. Like every time they have a creature enter the battlefield. So that includes the creature token created by Doomed Dissenter. But I get the feeling that this is the last match for tonight. Especially now that they've exiled one of my few new blockers. Yeah, even with impeccable timing in hand, and I'm not going to be able to do anything. I guess I could have held out for the possibility that they might cast a few creatures. But even that would have only helped me live for a little bit longer. Right. Crack some packs, and then that'll be it for the stream tonight. Right. Just a cycling land, prowling serpapard. Just getting cataracts. Hornet Queen, which is not originally from Amonkhet. That's originally from one of the core sets, I think. But they opted to reprint Landor in the Amonkhet Remastered. Commit to memory. Sphinx's Revelation, that's from Return to Ravnica originally. Alright, that's gonna do it for me tonight. I have to find somebody to host. Well, somebody to raid, I mean. Shit. Since I usually go for somebody me playing the same game, I should be absolutely spoiled for choice. As far as somebody to host that's playing Arena. Right. Let's see. Let's go with this person now for tonight. Thank you all for watching. Next stream will be next stream generally will be next to it'll be Thursday, maybe with the Age of Wonders. Next Arena stream, I don't know when. I haven't quite decided. This was a semi-impromptu thing because I don't currently have anything in particular scheduled for Tuesdays anymore.